Hi, Scott here. Hey, welcome back to the Marketing for Business podcast. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I've got a ripper episode for you today. I've called it the $1 million tip. Now, here's why. This is a double episode, once again from our 100th episodes, and it's with Tony Jenkins. He's the Managing Director of Harcourts Homewood, and then Miranda Knapton, who's she's one of the directors here at BNI New Zealand Business Networking International, and now she's actually going global with a lot of stuff that she's doing. But here's the thing. In Tony's one, he shares some really good insights into how to use dollar productive activities inside your business. And we'll look at the drivers inside your business to drive your business forward in tough times, good times. This is brilliant, and it's really gold information. I've actually used a similar this information over the years to drive my business and to really hone in on those dollar productive activities to generate millions of dollars worth of sales now. This is gold advice. He also, Tony, we talk about mindset, and we talk about what it takes to have a really strong mindset, even when things are going up and down or whatever. How do you stay resilient? How do you stay focused on what you need to achieve to help your people? And how do you lead to help your people? We also talk about adversity in business and how to deal with adversity and how to help your people through adversity as well. Then with Miranda shares 3 great bits of advice. We talk a lot about relationships and how to build relationships, the depth of connections inside business, and how to foster those relationships. We also talk about refining and how to become the expert in the marketplace and why that is so important. This is really, really a great episode as well. So I guarantee there's a $1 million tip in this episode for you. If you focus in on what you can learn, then start to take some action, your business will really start to move forward. Make no mistake, success leaves clues, and this interview, these 2 interviews actually are really, there is success in them that's leaving clues for you. So I look forward to listening. Make sure you tag me in if you have a brainwave or you start implementing things. Please tag me in and share the podcast with your other business friends. All right, thanks for your time, and I look forward to talking to you really, really soon. Miranda, welcome back to the Marketing for Business podcast.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Oh, look, I'm excited to have you back. Obviously, you've been on the podcast before, but this episode's different. This is the 100th episode. I've been going through and interviewing people on one question, and that is, what is your best business advice?
Fantastic. Firstly, congratulations on your 100th episode. That is huge in the graveyard of podcasts that live out there in the ether. So it means 100 times you've been putting good stuff out there. So well done to you, Scott. Look, I like to work in 3, Scott. So having been a business owner for a lot of years before I've transitioned into my current role, we've been through quite a few cycles of different economies. So the 3 things that really jump out for me in terms of best business advice. Number 1 would be relationships. If you are seeing an economic downturn, if you are seeing a slowing in your pipeline, really lean into those relationships, whether it is leaning into your network that you have, finding a network. The best time to start networking is 10 years ago. The second best time is right now, but find a network, find those other business owners and key decision makers that are going to be able to walk this path with you in time. Book time with them as well. Really get to understand who they are, what they're going through, because you never know what you might learn and what you might be able to take away from that to help your own business. So really going deep into kind of giver's gain, give before you expect to receive. Yeah. So that's number 1, relationships.
Well, I think that's real key right now, right? Like, because and the time right now is to go deep in connection, not width of connection, right? Really get to know people, find out what makes them tick, how you can help them, be of service. And I think that's a lot of things, a lot of people, and I've been through these times as well, things speed up for a lot of people, and sometimes you have to slow it down and be a bit more deliberate in the strategic things that you do. And networking could be one of those things that you could join and just add value and be opening to learning as well. So that's great advice. I like it.
Yeah. I think the other part of relationships, Scott, for me is, when we do get busy, we kind of forget our customer a little bit, and we assume that they'll just stay on that journey with us. We forget about our staff a little bit and assume that, times are good, it'll all be great, they'll be fine. But actually taking a moment and going, are my relationships with my customers right? Are they how I would want them? And really going deep, because they're the people that will take you through this time, literally. They already trust you. So, they might buy again. They might buy
Yeah.
more. They might become a loyal customer, raving fan forever if you spend that time with them now.
So good. So good. Right. Number 2.
Number 2, weaknesses. What weaknesses do you have right now? Is it
Nice.
you don't understand your numbers? Is your production line bleeding? Is your structure, governance, management, team operations not working cohesively? Do you not know what you don't know? What
Mm.
is your weakness? And fix it. Give it attention. Lean into the discomfort that can come with, seeing that thing that we know that we should have
Yeah.
sorted out maybe,
Yeah.
years, months ago, whatever, and going, actually, it's okay because I'm going to attend to it now. And I'm going to go through that discomfort to learn how to fix my weakness. For me in 2017, it was our numbers. We got told every year by our accountant, yay, you've had a great year, you've made money, that's awesome. I'm like, where is this stuff in my bank account? Because this is like, I'm a cash person, right? I'm not this
Yeah.
spreadsheet
So true.
zero-based person. So, we leaned into our weakness.
Mm.
We got some financial training. We looked at all our pricing structures. We looked at how we capture cost. Looked at everything. That was really uncomfortable for
Yeah.
people who had been in business for 5 years prior to that. So
Yeah.
lean into your weakness, and you'll
So
come
good.
out a whole lot better for it.
Yeah, and I think I was actually just talking to someone about this. Do the tough things, okay? Don't do the easy things right now. Like sometimes you just have to do those tough things. One thing I always say too is employ your weakness. Like if it is your weakness, like I remember back in years and years and years ago using BankLink, and I kind of did it, but I hated it. And then someone just said to me, Scott, that's not worth your time. Employ your weakness. And I was like, thought about it. I was like, oh yeah, it is. Got someone else to do it, never look back, and I think that's sometimes, especially as you grow your business, you kind of, you're trying to save, but actually you need to spend some time, you need to think about, well, what are my dollar producing activities that I could be doing, but I'm doing this other stuff, and it's someone else's genius. And I think that's a great takeaway too, is just, someone else loves doing what you hate. So
Absolutely, absolutely. My mum says that the world needs truck drivers, Miranda. We can't all be the same thing, and I
yeah,
think that's so true. We need the
really good.
people who love what they do and
Yeah,
are great at what they do. So
yeah,
tap into them, because they
yeah,
might be a small business you can lean on as well. Support them, and they're supporting you to get through this time,
brilliant.
whatever this
Like
time
it.
is. Yeah.
Right, number 3.
Number 3 is refine. When times are good, when businesses grow, we kind of go, okay, so here's our core business. It's let's use a good old fast food analogy. We sell burgers. Oh, we sell burgers. Great. Okay. Oh, look, times are great, and people are buying more burgers. We should now have fries, and let's have 4 types of fries, and let's sell 7 types of drink, and let's sell 14 desserts. Oh, look, who are we now?
Yeah,
Go back to what you know and what you do best,
yeah.
and be the expert in that. Because when you're the expert in the room, when you're the expert in that conversation, at that thing, at that burger selling, they're going to go to no other burger place.
No.
If you're trying to be a dessert person and a drinks person and a sides person, well, they might then start looking for drinks and desserts and sides people instead of looking at you as the expert for the burgers.
Yeah.
So refine your business. Look at your systems and processes. Look at what you sell. Look at what you make your most money from. Look at what you're most passionate about.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if you're more passionate about it, you're more likely to do it better, do it more than something you're like, oh, I really don't like making those fries, but I know they make me a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's going to wear thin in a
Yeah.
very short amount of time. So
Yeah.
maybe stick with the burgers, go back to the burgers. Maybe you can bring the fries back later, but maybe there's actually another company or service out there that actually does that part so much better than you that you
Yeah.
can partner with as well.
I think that's, like a lot of times, I guess as you grow a business, you kind of understand that, hey, you can't be doing everything, right? Like, so for us, a digital agency, a lot of people expect us to do websites. We don't, we have a partner. We have partners that do that sort of stuff, and it's kind of relieving to, we know what we're good at, and we're that refining thing is a great place to look and think, okay, what are we good at, and what are we not good at? and really dig into that, because
Mm.
it's a temptation is to do everything, right? And I think that's I know from experience that can get you into trouble.
It can get you into trouble. It can have some good times to it, and then it can
Yeah.
have, the adverse as well, where you're like, hang on, who actually am I, and what actually do I do? I think
Yeah.
the final piece with this, Scott, is, that ties them all together, is New Zealand is a great promoter of the technician. We have these amazing people
Yes.
at widget making who become accidental business owners, who somehow fall into this, oh, well, I wanted the truck and the boat and the batch, so I became a business owner. And sometimes those technicians aren't the best people to see what they need to do most in their business.
Yeah.
Find that trusted advisor to help you with these things.
Yeah.
And whether that trusted advisor is a mentor, whether it is your mate who owns a business, whether it is your neighbor, whether you hire a coach, like whatever that is, sometimes you can't see the wood for the trees in what you're looking at. So having that trusted advisor to support you through these things
I think one of the things I'd capture from an overall theme for this is being open to having some discussions and feedback right now. That would be, and I think that's one of the reasons why people should go and join a network, right? What do you recommend as far as joining networks? I know you're obviously heavily involved in BNI, and what are some of the reasons people should be going and looking obviously at BNI and stuff like that right now?
Yeah. Look, I'm lucky enough to be the president of BNI New Zealand. So, look, leaning into a network, finding a network, I could tell you a million stories, Scott.
Yeah.
If it's the person that was a part-time photographer and now no longer works their part-time job because they're a full-time photographer, and they're running chapters, whether it's the guy who reluctantly joined a chapter right at the beginning of a launch and then told me 6 months later, you could never have told me all the reasons why I should join and why I will stay. And it's because I was lonely in my business. I didn't know how lonely I was until I had all these other business owners around me. Whether it is, the person who consults for BNI, earning their biggest dollar value contract from just going out there and supporting other businesses to help maximize BNI. So look, I would say, obviously, massive advocate for BNI, but network. The long and the short of it is you will get to BNI if BNI is the right thing for you. We're always got chapters opening across the country and looking for more amazing people. But the real key here is to network, because you'll find people outside of yourself that can support you if that's what you need. And grow your business and, get you to where you want to go, help you share in that success.
And sometimes, like I always say to people, you don't have a money problem, you have a people problem, right? You need to know, more people need to know you. That's why we do marketing. So more people know us, and networking is a great way for people to know you. So whether you go to BNI or any of the others, like you've got to put yourself out there. You've actually got to take the first step and actually, go and to discover what and add value along the way too, right? I think that's probably
definitely.
The key.
Yeah. Look, at BNI, we're all about adding value, and this is one of our core values is give as gain. So give before you expect to receive, because we know that it will come back to you, 3, 4, 5-fold. And you have your extended sales team sitting around a room every week listening to your message to help support you and your business growth. And whatever that growth looks like for you, I'm hearing a few people, look, we're so busy, we don't want any more work, but they're not leaving the network because they know the value of it, that they get so much more from it. So,
Love it. All right. Hey, thank you for coming on the podcast. I've just got to say to people, hey, if you're out there and you're looking to grow your business and you like what Miranda said, hey, go and check out BNI. There'll be a spot there somewhere there for you in this country. Go and enjoy it. And look, if you're listening, what you need to do is share the podcast. You just need to share this. You're listening to these experts in business and marketing and growing businesses. Share their best business tips. There's a reason these tips are the best is because they work. So share the podcast with another business owner, and it's really, really help people. So go out there and do that. So Miranda, thanks for your time and have a great day.
Thank you very much, Scott. Much appreciated.
Tony Jenkins, welcome back to the Marketing for Business podcast.
Great to see you, Scotty.
Mate,
pleased to be here.
Mate, it's so good to have you here. Look, I've been going around, this is our 100th episode. I've been going around asking people what's their best business advice. Now, look, I know you've got a great business, you've got a great culture here at Harcourts Homewood, and you're a sales gun, and you've really got some insight. So, what is your best business advice?
Thanks, Scotty. I think the best one would be focus on dollar productive activity.
Nice.
And I think the big thing I learned back in the day was that, hey, you can't do it all yourself, and focus on the dollar productive activity. So, in other words, get a PA. So, delegate the day-to-day stuff that can help you focus on what you need to focus on. And in real estate, that's prospecting, listing, selling, and negotiating. So, all that other stuff that you get your PA to do, which is the admin, photos, and the day-to-day admin, which takes you off what you should be doing.
I think that could transition across any business. I remember when we did the podcast with you, you said something which I thought was really, really cool. Delegate, delegate, delegate. I've never forgotten that.
I just got to mention that. Delegate, delegate, delegate. And even today, I have a PA and have had a PA for years. So what I'm going to focus on in business is one of the my KPIs is recruiting and making sure we look after our agents that are with the business now.
So when you're looking at a business and you've got a number of businesses and a number of managers that you look at, dollar productive activities, how do you measure that and how do you track the performance of that? Because I think that's really key for someone when they're looking at it. It's easy to say, okay, focus on dollar productive activities, but how do we then track that and measure it moving forward?
Well, I think, Scotty, what you've got to realise is what are your drivers in your business. So we all know what the drivers are in each business. So I think we meet.
So maybe listing those out in each
business, and we focus on regular meetings with our managers and ensuring that targets and goals are met. So we focus on the activity really, and that it's a byproduct of success.
And when you look at the activity, so okay, it could be number of calls, number of messages, number of the things that really move the needle.
Yes, and I think probably in real estate, one of our drivers is auction, making sure that we've got good auction business going on. Hey, we know that we've got a good property. Hey, it's hard to price property at the moment, so auctions are a driver of a real estate business.
Yeah, so being real clear on what your driver is in your business.
Exactly.
So that's real key. So look, if you're a business owner and you're looking at maybe listing out some of the activities and going, right, is that a dollar productive activity, or could someone else be doing it? How do you determine what someone else gets, like the PA or someone else in your business?
That's right. I think one of the things is that we can all come to work and say we've had a busy day.
Yeah, it's easy.
But when we actually wind the clock back, and I talk to an agent, and I say, righto, let's look at your week. You've had a busy week, but really it's how many appointments they had, how many clients they had out,
nice,
how many listing presentations they've had for the week. And in business, we all know what KPIs are. So, obviously making sure that you're focusing on the things you need to focus on and delegating the stuff that that's going to be taking up your time.
Yeah.
Because we can all be busy. Yeah. But busy doing what?
Yeah, and I think that's real key, especially in times that we're in, right? You've got to focus on, okay, well, here's what's going to move the needle from a business perspective.
Yeah.
Like I know for us, what moves the needle is us creating content and marketing. The market, all advertising and marketing works as long as you stay in the game long enough and have a really clear message and an offer. But if you're not marketing your business, the thing is it goes backwards, and it goes backwards. And you might not see it over the first 2 or 3 months that you stop advertising and marketing, but all of a sudden, after that 90-day kind of period, everything slumps back off. So we make sure we're focusing on always pushing that needle forward. You know.
The other one I think too is that it doesn't matter whether it's a small business or a large business. The person running that business is the CEO of that business. Now, whether you're running a small team or it's a real estate agent with a small team, you are the CEO of that group.
Yep.
And I think how you lead that group and have positivity, start the day with a good, positive attitude.
Yeah.
It rubs off.
Oh, totally.
There's a few challenges out there in the marketplace at the moment. Well, I think that's the key where you've got to, forge through.
Yeah, well, I've learned from you. You've got to put the fizz in the coke, right?
Yes, exactly.
And I think that's like as a leader, you've got to bring your attitude to the game.
Well, you
right?
do.
Like no one wants to follow someone as well. It's going to be really bad today.
Oh, it's tough out there.
Hey, look, it's tough enough without someone else bringing that attitude.
Well, exactly right. And I think probably what's kept me right is that like you and I go to the gym in the morning, so having a bit of a daily routine, getting to work, fired up, ready to go, positive. because positive energy trends first.
What would you say, like, because I think one of the things you do, and probably one of the things that we do, is we share our wins a lot inside the team.
Yes.
Is that a big part of your culture?
Oh, absolutely. You know, we talk about, you know, good wins we've had. And I mean, you've got to celebrate your successes.
Yeah, because it rubs off on other people, right?
You've even said to me, gosh, Tony, you do a lot of celebrating.
Yeah.
but I mean, that's all part of what we do. I mean, you've got to celebrate and enjoy your wins.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of people, to be successful, you've got to have a few no's too.
Totally. And I think that one of the keys to that is like writing things down where you've had some wins. So in when times get tough, you can go back to that and you can go, hey, actually, you know what? This has happened before. I've got through it. Here's the wins I've had in the past.
Exactly right.
And it gives you because a lot of times in tough markets like we have, it comes down to confidence.
It does. And all businesses have challenges. And particularly at the moment, it's a bit challenging, but you've got to soldier through. The CEO of the business has got to lead from the front.
Yeah.
Be positive, but also, you know, give the team leadership that, hey, we'll get through this so we can, you know, move forward.
Yeah. And experience is a good I guess, doctor for that, right? Like it tells us, you know, we've been through a few things, we know what's going on. Those times don't last. They feel like they're going to last forever.
Yes.
But you have to have that strong mindset. So what I take away there is, hey, look, okay, dollar predictive activities is really, really important. But
focus on what you can control too.
Boom. Focus on what you can control and your mindset.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that you can bring to the game.
I think mindset is underestimated. It's huge.
Yeah.
You know, positive, good mindset. You know, have a culture within your organisation that's fun. People want to be there in an organisation that's fun and they enjoy being there.
Yeah. Yeah, because they
in good times, and I think in these times where it's a bit challenging, it's more important that culture is in the forefront.
Yeah. Yeah, because they see the leaders in the business lifting, and they want to be around that because no one wants to and I guess when you deal with high performers, like you've got a lot of high performing people inside your business.
Yes, we have.
They want to be around other people that are lifting themselves up.
They
right?
are, yep.
The cool thing about that is the lower performers, they struggle to be around, and sadly, you know, we've seen recently quite a few marketing agencies have gone out of business, and it's because it's tough, right?
Absolutely.
If you it's easy. It's always easy when things are when things are going well. But it's when the market gets tough, you see the strong kind of come to that market.
Anybody that's been successful has had a bit of adversity. You know, you've got to take a few no's.
Yeah.
Not everything's perfect in a perfect world. So I think, as I said before,
how do you handle the no's?
Oh, look, I've been around a long time. I know that, hey, getting. Obviously, the no's, it always hurts if you have an agent looking to come to work for your company and they say, look, I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah.
No one likes it. We wish them well.
Yeah.
Send them off well. Keep in touch. You never know.
Yeah.
The door's always open.
Yeah.
So I think treat people well. If they leave your organisation,
nice.
Hey, we like to think they'll come back.
I like the fact that you leave the doorways open. You know, a lot of businesses don't do that, or a lot of people don't do that, but leave the doorway always open. Yep. I heard of a great one the other day while I was in Miami, and this company, when they lose a client, they send pizzas to celebrate, to say thank you for being a client. And I thought that's quite cool. That was fantastic. Yeah. I've never heard of hey, we enjoyed working with you.
Well, you made a wee comment to me just the other day as part of your learnings on that trip that, you know, obviously client gifts. Was pretty high up. And I think one of the things that we get from time to time is that, hey, maybe that's been missed in the process. Just doing those basics. Well. So in the market like this, I think sticking to the basics, you know what your KPIs are for your business. There's no rocket science out there, is there?
No, simple as best.
Yeah, it is.
Get back to basics. All right, this has been awesome. Thank you for sharing your best business advice. Hey, as always, look, 100 episodes, I need you to share this one though. I need you to share Tony's advice. Someone will be sitting there that you know as a business owner that just needs to hear this little bit of wisdom that Tony shared. You know, writing down, getting focused on your dollar predictive activities, you know, looking at your business and going, okay, as a leader in the business, how do I bring my people along this journey? So Tony, I really appreciate you being here. Thanks again for sharing. And just do me one favor, share this podcast.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.
Good man.